Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us by hitting that subscription button right below in red. It's free of charge. You don't pay anything for it, and it helps the channel. And also don't forget to hit the bell notifications for new uploads. I want to thank every single one of you for all your beautiful comments and your support. Thank you so much. And I would like to mention that right up top, there's 3 little buttons. You can click there to slow down the video to the speed you would like if I'm too fast for you. Also, right next to it, there's the CC, closed caption. You can turn that on and you can pause the video and take notes of everything that will be written down here on the stitch that I will be calling. In case you don't have the CC up there or the 3 little buttons on the video up top, there's 3 little buttons. You just click there on the settings and it's in there. You can slow down the video and also turn your closed caption on. The next thing I would like to mention is in the description box, everything is always listed below. There's a little arrow right, like a V, upside down, right below the video on the right side. If you click that little arrow, everything will be in the description box. So I have my Facebook page for the crochet. I also have a Facebook group, crochet, that you can join if you have a profile on your Facebook. And you can join us in the group. It's a private group. So, of course, you have to have a profile. If you don't, then unfortunately you can't, because there's too many scammers going around with the groups, and I want to make sure that we're all safe and nobody's going around scamming anybody. I see a lot of that in the groups nowadays, and I'm taking myself away from the groups due to that fact, and also the fact that there's some nastiness going on, especially coming out of administration's mouth. That's not a good thing. So I decided to create my own, inviting you to be part of it if you'd like to. What else? So I also would like to mention, if you please want to help to donate for the women in need of thread and yarn, I need your help to buy them the thread and yarn. I have my PayPal account below in the description box. You can donate whatever you feel like. Everything adds up at the end, so we can help these women to get them busy with, creating some pieces and distract their minds from the daily life stress that they might be going through. It could be a mental stress, it could be family stress, it could be mothers alone with children that cannot afford to buy these threads and yarn. So I really want to help them out, and the only way I can do it is by you and I together helping them out. So please be generous and help out. It doesn't matter the amount. And I want to thank you so much for helping. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm sure they will appreciate you too, very, very much so. So thank you again. Anything else? I hope I'm not forgetting. So normally when I'm calling out the stitch and I say chain 1 for space, and I usually say chain 1 separation, that means for space. If your stitch is too tight, then do an extra chain. So instead of doing 1, you do 2 chain. If your stitch is too loose, then do less 1 chain. Also, when your stitch is extremely tight, you should go with the hook, 1 hook size bigger than your normal that you use, because that will help to loosen up the stitch when you're going into the second row and try to put your stitches in. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. We're going to get started. Please also share, give a thumbs up on the video. It helps to circulate the video and have the channel to be recognized. Share on your Facebook public with your family and friends. Have them join us together as one big family. So thank you so much, everybody. I send much hug and love to every single one of you, and many blessings from the universe. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to show you today a stitch, trying to fix my lighting here, a pattern, a motif for anything that you want to create. And I've started working on one, so you might want to stay tuned for this. I'm creating a table runner, and it's with this stitch, which I've started to create already. So I'm going to show you the stitch so the video doesn't become too long. And not only that, you can create different other pieces with the same stitch, which is very simple to create. So I'm just going to do a little sample for you, and If you want to create this, then I will link, once I'm done, I will link everything below in the description box. So with this table runner, of course it's going to be bigger because it's going to still take motifs on the side. I still have to work the sides of this table runner, and it will have different colors. So I think I'm going to be using some lilac or some purple. So the first thing you want to do is the chain stitch. I have created 48 plus 4 more chains and come back onto the 5th one, which I'll show you there. So if you want to make the same size as I'm making, because I'm just going to show you a sample with this thread. I'm not going to be creating the whole thing because I'm already doing this one, okay? So 48 chain stitch, that means, and then plus 4 chain. You'd come back on the 5th and you would start to create your double crochet. You will have a total of 49 double crochets, okay? In case that you miss a stitch, let's say you miss one double crochet and you end up with 48, don't worry about it. Don't take it down for nothing. There's always ways to work around it, because the same thing happened here with mine. I was supposed to have 49, yeah, and I ended up with 48, but it didn't change anything in my book, and you'll understand why, because when we get to here, normally we're skipping 2 spaces going into the 3rd here, but because we're doing the 4 double crochets here, there's only 1 space that has been skipped, so don't worry about that, okay? So this is a 4-ply 100% cotton thread hook, size 3. We'll need a pair of scissors and a small hook to tuck in loose ends, okay? So let's get started. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video if you like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and hit that bell notification, okay? So basically, if you're creating that size that I am creating, so you would do your 48 or 49. I think you're probably best with 49 so you don't end up with a problem. And you would do 49 chain stitch, okay? So very simple, nothing to it. Everybody should know what chain stitch is. I'm just going to make a sample on here. Okay, so let's say I have my 49 chain stitch. I would do 1, 2, 3, and 4 more. I'd come back on my 5th, so I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4. On my 5th chain, make sure you grab both loops, because if you grab only one, your pattern is going to make a U shape. It's going to bend. So you want a nice straight line. So basically you would just grab both loops here and not one. Okay, so do your double crochet 1 per space, and then you're supposed to have 49. Like I said, if you have 48, don't worry about it. So you would come directly to the end, you turn around, and you do 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to grab back loop only. You can go through both if you'd like, but I think this makes a difference on the pattern when you're creating a nice table runner. So back loops, we're doing double crochet over double crochet, so we'll end up having the 49 double crochets, or like I said, if you ended up with 48, doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll just do it like that, and we're grabbing this back loop back here, okay? And we're going to do 1 per space all the way to the end. Now when you're getting to the end here, make sure that you do grab your last one here, because sometimes we have the tendency to forget about that one. We get confused with this one here, and what happens is you're going to be short, so your pattern's going to curve in. Make sure you have the right amount of the double crochets up top, exactly like the ones below. Now chain 3, we're going to turn our work and into the next space with double crochet. So we're going to create here a group of 4 double crochets, okay? my hands would stop living, it would be good, right? But that's what happens when you're filming and your arms are stretched out. So I'm going to do 1 chain separation. If your stitch is too tight, then do 2. So we're going to skip 1, 2 on the third one. We're going to do double crochet, next space, double crochet, and next space, double crochet. This is going to be a repeat from here on with all the other rows. When you get to the desired length you would like on this table runner, then you have to close in at the end with the 2 rows of double crochet. So now my 4th double crochet, I'm going to do a diagonal double crochet. That means I'm going to come where I have that empty space here that we skipped, okay? I'm going to come in and I'm going to give it a good stretch. Doesn't have to be too loose, but cannot be too tight either. And we're going to leave it that way. 1 chain. Again, we're going to skip 1, 2. On the third space, create your double crochet. So this is very simple. 3 double crochets, 1 per space. And again, we're going to come back into the back empty one here, do a diagonal double crochet. I'm sure you've seen me do quite a bit of work with this type of diagonal double crochet. 1, 2, and 3 again, and create your 3 double crochet. Okay, and then come back again and do your diagonal double crochet, give it a stretch, and 1 chain again. Now coming to the end, you might end up with only a 1 or 2 space, so you skip that 1 or 2 space depending on what you have at the end. We need to do the 4 double crochets here also, okay? So in my case, 1, 2, I'm going to come into the third one. It works out for me this sample amount, which I guess it worked out perfect. But don't worry if you have only 1 space or 2. Just skip them and do your 4 double crochets, because from here on, it will all fall into place. Okay. Make sure you get your last double crochet there at the end. So in my other motive, the one that I'm creating, the table runner, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I have 8. Goodness, the lighting on here. So I have 8 motives like this, okay? If you want to go larger, you just have to do more chain stitch to get a larger table runner, okay? Now you're going to turn around and chain 3. We're always going to continue to repeat the same 4 double crochets at the beginning and always at the end. So from here in, the stitches also always stays the same. So 1 chain. Not 1 chain, sorry. We're doing 1 row of motives and 1 row of double crochet. So in the space of 1 chain separation, we're doing 1 double crochet and then 1 per space here, which is the 4 double crochets that we created from the previous row. So make sure you get your last one here too. Now you can't go wrong. You have to have the same amount here of double crochets as we started here. Okay, so then you go inside 1 double crochet and then continue to do your 1 double crochet per space, which is the 4 double crochet from the motif here that we created. Okay, 1 in between the space and then again. Okay, so we pretty much created that row. Trying to cut a little bit of the lighting here. Sometimes I don't get enough lighting, or sometimes it's just too much, right? It reflects on the color of the patterns. Okay, so we turn around and now we continue again the same thing as we did here on row 3, and then we continue the next row with the double crochets the same way we did. So basically 3 chain going up, the 4 double crochets, the 1 chain separation. Now 1, 2, on your third one you'd create your 3 double crochets. Where we skip, we come back and do our diagonal like that. So they're all going to line up just the same way. 1, 2, and 3, and continue to proceed the same exact way. Just like that. Okay, and then the next row is just double crochets, the same amount. Now when we close out, then you would do the 2, and you do the same effect when you're closing the second row of the double crochet. You only take the back loop. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. And the diagonal double crochet. So I'm going to finish mine here. So I've turned around, I've done my 3 chains, and now this is no different. We just continue to do double crochet over double crochet, and you create your last 2 rows of double crochet. So 1 here in the space, and the 4 double crochets from the motif here. So 1 per space, and 1 inside, and again continue the same way. Okay, so I'll meet you on the next row. Now let's say I'm at the end and I'm creating my last row exactly how I started. So I'm grabbing back loops only and doing double crochet over double crochet. And then you may, if you're going to create patterns or the same one I'm going to do the tutorial on, then you can change colors, whatever color you prefer. I'm changing colors once I finished making this centerpiece. So this is very simple, nothing to it. That's all you have to do is just grab back loops, just like that. Now how pretty is that, right? Even if you don't do it with, the white, you can use whatever colors you do your centerpiece. It's just gorgeous, just the same, right? So I'll leave it at that. And if you want to create afterwards this table runner, then you would just have to complete this as your centerpiece and then continue on with a tutorial that I will be doing with this piece. Okay, thank you everyone. It's a very small short video, just perfect for any pattern you want to use. It could be for curtains, it could be for so many different things, right? A tablecloth for your square table, let's say, or even a throwaway blanket. Beautiful stitch for it too. Okay, everyone. So until next time, thank you so much, and God bless. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.